Okay, it is 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. Let the record know, note that Councilmember Navarrete, Vice Mayor Alonso, and Councilmember Aguilar are excused, although Vice Mayor Alonso may seek a call-in. Councilmember Byrd. Here. Councilmember Armitage.
Here.
Councilmember Lopez. Here. And I am present. We do have a quorum. If everyone would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, invocation by Councilmember Armitage, and a brief moment of silence for Ricardo Prudencio and Polly Drakovich.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for all of your love, your blessing, and your provision for the little town of Superior. Lord, I just thank you for your love for this place. And Lord, that you have moved powerfully in this town. We give you thanksgiving for that. We ask tonight, Lord, as we meet to conduct the town's business, that you would give us wisdom, discernment, understanding. And Lord, may we be blessed by the knowledge of your presence here tonight. In Jesus' name we ask. And a moment of silence.
Thank you. And thank you, Councilmember Armitage, for the lovely invocation. We're going to move on to special presentation. And to preface this a little bit, as many of you know, we've been working on the rehabilitation of the old high school, which is going to include the Superior Enterprise Center. And the Superior Enterprise Center being a leader and key component in future job creation, job training, entrepreneurial development. I felt that it was incredibly important to celebrate and through proclamation the Career and Technical Education Month for the town of Superior, and also celebrate National School Counseling Week. And today we have Asia Dezev. She is the counselor for the Cobra Valley Institute of Technology, they've been working hand in hand with us on our Enterprise Center. So Asia, if you'd like, I'll let you say a few words, and then I will read the proclamations into the record.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I'm joined tonight also by our Superior representative of the Civic School Board, Louis Rabago, so he's here. On behalf of the Cobra Valley Institute of Technology, thank you so much for recognizing both National Career and Technical Education Month and National School Counseling Week. As the school counselor for Civic, which serves the communities of Superior and others in the Copper Corridor, I am passionate about the role school counselors play in supporting students in their academic, career, and social emotional development. I also strongly feel that career and technical education teaches them to be successful in all three of those realms as well. In CTE, we often say we don't just teach students to get a job, we teach them to keep that job through leadership skills, communication, and other professional skills. I'm super proud to serve the students in Superior and throughout the Copper Corridor and help connect them with these amazing programs. And I salute the educators and counselors that work tirelessly to connect them with these opportunities also. Thank you so much, Mayor and Council.
Thank you so much for coming out. So we're going to start with the proclamation National School Counseling Week for the town of Superior. Whereas school counselors are employed in public and private schools to help students reach their full potential. And whereas school counselors are actively committed to helping students explore their abilities, strengths, interests, and talents as these traits relate to career awareness and development. And whereas school counselors help parents focus on ways to further the educational, personal, and social growth of their children. And whereas school counselors work with teachers and other educators to help students explore their potential and set realistic goals for themselves. And whereas school counselors seek to identify and utilize community resources that can enhance and complement comprehensive school counseling programs and help students become productive members of society. And whereas comprehensive developmental school counseling programs are considered an integral part of the educational process that enables all students to achieve success in school. Now therefore, I, Mila Vesich, Mayor of the Town of Superior, do hereby proclaim February 6th through 10th as National School Counseling Week in Superior. This was passed and adopted by the mayor and town council of the town of Superior on this 9th day of February 2023. And our proclamation for Career and Technical Education Month. And I'll look to highlight that just a smidge in the sense that we do actively participate in the statewide Mayor's Education Roundtable, and more the conversation is going to how important our school counselors are, getting our kids through the FAFSA process, and how much more important career technical education is becoming when it comes to skill training and variety of career certifications. So we really appreciate that Mr. Robago is here and Ms. Dezay is here to represent Civet, and we appreciate all that Civet does for the students of Superior throughout the Copper Corridor. So it is my honor to proclaim Career and Technical Education Month for the town of Superior. Whereas Superior has been designated Career and Technical Education Month by the Association for Career and Technical Education. And whereas Career and Technical Education offers students the opportunity to gain the academic, technical, and employability skills necessary for true career readiness. Whereas students in career and technical education programs participate in authentic, meaningful experiences that improve the quality of their education and increase their engagement and achievement. And whereas career and technical education provides students with career exploration opportunities earlier in their educational experience, which enables them to make informed and beneficial decisions about their academic coursework and pursue established programs of study and career pathways. And whereas leaders from business and industry nationwide report increasing challenges related to addressing the skills gap and connecting qualified professionals with the available careers in critical and growing CTE-related fields, including healthcare, energy, advanced manufacturing, cybersecurity, and information technology. And whereas career and technical education prepares students for these and other fulfilling careers by offering integrated programs of study that link secondary and post-secondary education and lead to the attainment of industry-recognized credentials. And whereas career and technical education programs ensure that employers have access to a qualified and thriving workforce, ensuring America is a strong and competitive economy. Now therefore, I, Mila Bestich, Mayor of the Town of Superior, do hereby proclaim February as Career and Technical Education Month in Superior, Arizona, and urge all citizens to become familiar with the services and benefits offered by the career and technical education programs in the community, and to support and participate in these programs to enhance their individual skills and productivity. Passed and adopted by the Mayor and Town Council of the Town of Superior on this 9th day of February 2023. So once again, thank you, Civet, for all you do for our students, and thank you for your presentation. Asia, we really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have formally signed proclamations that Ruby can give to you for your records and all of that.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to staff reports. Councilors, you've probably been receiving your updates from the league. The legislature is in full swing. Today, Carla and I spent the day at the CAG Legislative Day. Some of the hot topics that we're really working on right now is the bills that are the food municipal tax exemption, which is HB 2061, and then Senate Bill, I lost the number on that one, but the rental housing infrastructure, HB 1117, which is also the bill that's would allow for by right zoning. So what we're hearing right now is that the food tax probably isn't going to go anywhere, that it's really more just some political maneuvering, that it's going to have a harder time to pass. The rental tax, which would actually affect Superior each year, may pick up more traction and get across, but those two bills are the legislature is passing to make it so we can't assess those taxes. For neighboring communities like Globe, the food tax would mean a $900,000 budget cut, meaning they would probably have to raise their property taxes. So there's been lots of lobbying and whatnot going on, and I've testified regarding the rental tax last week. It's very interesting to watch, but the one bill that everybody's really starting to watch right now is SB 1117, and that's that by right zoning. And this is something that I think all residents, everyone should be very much aware of, because by right zoning would mean that anybody who owns property could stack 7 Connex buildings next to each other and say it's their property and this is what is gonna tackle affordable housing. So the league's been working really hard at that and trying to provide other options, but this is the second time a bill like this has come to the legislature. So there is growing concern about that particular bill. As we all know, affordable housing is an ongoing conversation. Another bit of good news is HB 2543, which is appropriations for Greater Arizona Transportation Projects. We can confirm that Superior has the Panther Drive Bridge construction at Queen Creek, which is a $2.4 million project. So that bill seems like it will move forward swiftly. We are meeting with Representative Cook, so that way he knows what a priority project that is for the community. Our youth council is well on their way to be ready to go to Washington, D.C. Rebuild Superior is helping them with a GoFundMe, so if you're inclined, make an online donation. And they have received very generous contributions from the Superior Optimist Club and Rebuild Superior. And then, of course, their budget did have some allocation for their trip this year. So they are well on their way. Vice Mayor Alonso and I will be attending the National League of Cities along with staff, Ruby and Carla, Mr. Rompus and Ms. Lukey, while we're there. So lots of things moving on. And of course, we had a really great meeting with about our airport yesterday with a company interested in doing some flight education, and another meeting with the SciTech Institute. So lots of things going on. That's my update. Todd, do you have anything else?
Just a couple quick things. The NEPA CE for the fire break was released a little over a week ago. We should have by mid next week the letter of decision, so that we can continue cutting the fire break past town property. Right now they've been on the airport, which is town property, so we didn't need the CE. But we should be on track and on time for that. The project's going very well. We've been on a little bit of a 2-week hiatus while the AmeriCorps crew is out at the Arboretum. The wastewater treatment plant, they're getting all of the plumbing in and everything to switch over to the temporary system. And while they're doing that, they're adding the new mains. So the main at the airport is nearing completion, and they're working on the new main on Terrace to address the lack of a close main and the double taps over there. So that's within city limits, and people might be noticing it. The water company is doing a lot of work on Western, Stone, Valentine. Those pipes can't be buried for 3 weeks after they're exposed. ADEQ has to sign off on them because they're potable water. So it leaves a pretty nasty mess in that area, but hopefully we're getting closer to the end of that and we'll start to see pavement go back in those holes. And that's all I've got.
And one more thanks and congratulations to the Superior Enterprise Center, Chicanos por la Causa, AZ Strut, and Resolution Copper. Last Friday they gave away 300 computers, mostly to students and residents of Superior, with some from throughout the Copper Corridor. So that's an example of that partnership really coming together nicely, and it was nice to see all the activity here at Town Hall, people picking up their computers. So with that, we'll move into the consent agenda. And council, I am going to recuse myself from consent agenda item number 15 because I am employed by the Copper Corridor Economic Development Coalition. So approval of minutes of town council meeting on January 12th, 2023. Approval of list of police and public works vehicles and equipment to be sent to Sierra Auction. Approval of proposal between Via Firma Environmental Services and the Town of Superior for a percolation test services for the Coleman Alley Lot GI project. The property at this location is currently vacant. This project consists of performing a percolation test at the property to determine drainage services for the potential rainwater harvesting garden located in Superior, Arizona. Via Firma proposes to perform the work on time and material basis not to exceed $1,000 based on the information available to Via Firma at this time. Agenda item 4, approval of fee proposal between 88 Acres LLC and the Town of Superior for design services, including grading, landscaping, irrigation projects for the Coleman Alley Lot GI project. Total compensation $3,840. Approval of workout equipment for the multi-gen using ARPA funding that was previously approved at the September 9th, 2021 council meeting. Approval of contract 019-6655, amendment number 7, 1 through 23, between the Pinal Gila Council for Senior Citizens and the Town of Superior. This contract amendment increases the contract reimbursement ceiling for congregate meals to $32,695 for the home delivered meals for $44,589. Approval of a draft letter of agreement regarding the Queen Creek Restoration Project. Approval of a draft letter to Eastern Pinal Watershed Partners for further support of the plan. Approval of documentation to participate in the national opioid settlement. Approval of the Town of Superior alcohol beverage permit for Merlinda Provencio for a luncheon at the Magma Club on Saturday, February 18th, 2023 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Approval of Air Viper Running LLC Copper Quarter Trail Runs on Saturday, February 25th, 2023 from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. running through Main Street, Superior, and course through town and onto Tonto National Forest land. Approval of Arizona Department of Liquor Licenses and Control Special Event License for Emily Smolensky, Boyce Thompson Arboretum, located at the Boyce Thompson Southwestern Arboretum, located at 37615 Arboretum Way, Superior, Arizona 85173 on Saturday, April 15th from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Approval of Town of Superior alcohol beverage permit for Alicia Valdez for a wedding reception located at the Magma Club on Saturday, August 26, 2023 from 1 p.m. to 12 a.m. Approval of Town of Superior alcohol beverage permit for Andrew Sala for a wedding reception located at the Magma Club on Saturday, December 30th, 2023 from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Approval of CCDC Farmers Market Deb Sears event sponsorship and use of food cart and senior center for January through May 2023 on Saturdays to sell produce and other handmade items. Approval of department reports, fire, police, public works, library, senior center, sanitation, and town engineer. Council, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Mayor, I'll
Yes.
remind you, you're recusing
Yes.
yourself from item 15, so
I was just gonna just not vote on the consent. Can I just?
I just figured she wasn't gonna vote.
would that be acceptable, Mr. Cooper?
That would still be a majority of the
Yeah.
quorum.
Okay, yeah, because the way you read the motion, so there's a motion and a second. Is all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And for the record, I have abstained from voting on the consent agenda. Okay, new business. Discussion possible approval of ordinance number 2023-179, an ordinance of the Council of the Town of Superior, Arizona, adding Article 3 of the Superior Code by adding Section 6-3-1, jail recovery fee, 6-3-2, court default judgment recovery fee, 6-3-3, court warrant administrative fee, 6-3-4, court deferred prosecution fee, 6-3-5, court monitoring and probation fee, and 6-3-6, indigent administrative assessment fee, 6-3-7, municipal court enhancement fee, establishment of fund relating to court fees and establishing an effective date. This is a council decision, and is Judge Brown here? The packet says she was gonna be here.
Mayor, council members, apparently she has not arrived. Your options are, if you wish to table this, I believe I can field this matter for you if you wish to hear it. Or you can let me explain it to you, and then you can decide to table it till Judge Brown gets here.
I'm comfortable with, if you wanna give us a primer, and then, you know, that way council has that and we can come back to it, or if they're comfortable with your explanation, it'll be council's pleasure.
Well, I don't know many people that are comfortable with attorney explanations, but I'll give it a try.
Well, you know, sometimes you don't say anything at all at the meeting, so we'll go ahead.
Mayor, council members, Judge Brown, when you appointed her as the town magistrate, had asked that we had worked on a jail enhancement fee. What you need to know, first of all, is that the cost of this is not a cost that's going to be borne by the town. It's going to be used by the users of the magistrate courts. The reason for that is that the cost of incarceration in the jail in the county is really escalated. I received an email from the county attorney's representatives early this year where if you were to be sent to jail based on a municipal violation, your first night in jail would be $643. Quite frankly, you know, we could send somebody to Vegas cheaper than we could to send them to jail. The second night in jail, they knock some off that, but probably we're hovering around $400. The purpose of this is to basically allow the court to assess a fee against a defendant that is convicted of an offense. If someone is acquitted, obviously they're not gonna pay any fees. And basically, the judge is asking basically, number one, that we create some fees, and the fees are kind of as follows on this. If you are arrested on a warrant for not appearing in the court can establish an administrative fee for you failing to appear of $70. If you enter into a deferred prosecution agreement where you committed an offense, but because of extenuating circumstances, it may be more appropriate for you to basically do some community service or some type of alternative disposition of the case, that you would basically pay $25 for the paperwork of handling that with the court. Additionally, they're also seeking to have, if we have to place somebody on probation and we have to do any monitoring, that basically it'd be $35 per month. And that basically that would be in addition to the deferred prosecution fee. And if the person is indigent and we have to appoint a court-appointed attorney for them, that they basically would pay the sum of $35. This is for everybody that is a defendant going before the court. The justices and magistrates have kind of done a survey amongst themselves where if you appoint someone on a court-appointed case, the courts currently only do that if there is mandatory jail or there's a high likelihood that there's a jail sentence. But usually that court-appointed person, defense attorney that's there, usually charges about $350 per case. And the purpose of creating these fees is that currently the magistrate cannot assess these fees without an ordinance, and that's why she's coming to you to basically start collecting these monies to keep us from using general fund transfers to pay for these jails. And I think, as most of the council knows, that over the years the town of Superior has worked agreements out with the justice court where the DUIs, a lot of the domestic violence cases, a lot of the criminal cases where there is a possibility of jail, we have routed them through the justice court as opposed to the magistrate court. But we do have some prosecution in town, and there can come a time in the magistrate court, whether it's code enforcement, an animal case, a litter case, or something that just gets out of hand, where the court has no alternative but to send them to jail. And if we do, somebody's got to pay for it. It's the town. We don't have on the budget that I'm aware of a line item that gives us so much money a year that we can use to send people to jail. So we are trying to keep the costs down, but in order for us to recoup these costs off the defendants and what I call the frequent flyer defendants, we would like to impose a fee where we can begin collecting those fees. So when we basically get for those jail fees and those other fees, that we have monies that have been collected to basically offset that, rather than coming to the residents and the town and trying to use general funds. So this is a small attempt for us in the court system to basically make crime pay.
Staff, do we have any other contact from Judge Brown?
We attempted to call Judge Brown today, but we didn't have any contact. We arranged for her to be at this meeting 2 months ago, so it might just have been a miscommunication.
It's been a very hairy time. Council, this will be your pleasure if you're comfortable moving forward with this. Okay, is that a motion?
I'll make a motion, not knowing what anybody else is going to do. If I don't get a second, I won't be upset. Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve item number 2023-179.
Is there a second? There's a second by Councilmember Byrd. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, last business agenda. Discussion, possible approval of software use agreement between Cassell Inc. and the Town of Superior. Recommendation, staff recommends approving the software use agreement. Discussion, this Cassell software use agreement would replace the Encode software currently used by the finance department. Cassell is used by a majority of municipalities in the state. Fiscal impact, total price of Cassell would be $27,355, which is also less in price than Encode. We will have to pay for both sets of software for over 1 year while we transfer from Encode to Cassell. Council, do you have any questions for staff on this agenda item? Okay.
Sure. Can you hear me? Is this on?
Yeah.
So the software we're currently using is Encode. It is kind of it's meant for larger municipalities. It's much more difficult to use. If you look at this little map that was included in the packet, you'll see that every municipality around us uses Cassell. CAG uses Cassell. So when we bring new personnel on, we have to train them on a proprietary software they've never seen before, rather than being able to hire people from the local economy. Also, this will allow us to do what the council has asked me to do for years, and I've been unable to accomplish with Encode, which is to do online bill payments for our sewer accounts. This is much more common software, more modules work with it, all the modules are cheaper. This is a hosted solution, so we will not have to maintain a server to put this on. Just as the last server we bought this year was $25,000, so not having to host it is a significant savings. Even hosted, it's cheaper by about $10,000 than Encode is. So this will be a savings, but not this year. This year we have to pay for both costs. We have to migrate all our data over. We have to make sure it's working. We have to invest a lot in training for the staff. They'll need to go to Salt Lake City where their big conference is and get trained on it. But I think in the end, this will be a much better solution. Encode, in addition, will not upgrade our current software without us buying a new license, which would be another $35,000 I would have to pay Encode instead. So we're going to have to spend this regardless. And we have to spend it a little earlier, so we have both at the same time, but then we'll be migrated to the more user-friendly software.
So Todd, the $27,000, that includes the training in there?
Yes. After we get the training, huh?
Do they come and train here, or do they have to have?
It's a combination of those. Yes, we do have to travel there to at least one conference. After we get implemented and set up, it's $2,000 a month for maintenance, which when you compare to Encode, we're paying about $3,500 a month for Encode. So it will be a savings, but again, the first year it's not. We're doubling it.
Council, any further questions or comments? I just appreciate staff doing this research and starting to get us to that point. I know one of the things our residents ask for year after year is more online functionality and paying bills and whatnot. So, I think right now we really need to start moving in this direction, and I think it's something that I work for an agency that used Cassell, and it makes it much easier when you do have problems because there's a knowledge base of people to call. And right now our staff does not have that by using Encode. It's kind of like we're the lone man out in Arizona, and Encode does not really provide us opportunities to grow, or nor do they seem really supportive of their municipal clients, at least not for us. So, Council, this is your pleasure.
I'll make a motion to approve.
There's a motion by Councilmember Byrd. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Lopez. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And before I go to call to the public, I was remiss and I did not introduce Miss Jamie Ramsey and Lindsay, the new general manager of Capstone Mining. Lindsay's just taken on the general GM job, so I don't know if you guys want to say a few words.
Speech.
You can just introduce her, but if you guys can come to the podium so you two can pick it up.
Hi, I'm Jamie Ramsey. Most of you might know me as the former mayor of Kearney. Some of you know my mother, Senator Barbara McGuire. And I brought with me, want to tell her all about Superior. And Lindsay Potts, she's the general manager at Capstone, and she is new here.
Hi, everyone.
New to Arizona.
Yes.
So we'll give her a minute to say a few things.
No, thanks, Jamie. I was coming along for the ride. Hi everyone, my name's Lindsay. I've taken over from Mike Wickersham at Capstone Copper up at Pinto Valley. I suppose the big thing that Jamie and I are probably working pretty hard together is that continued support with the community and working out what we can do to be good community members. So I came along to introduce myself and to say hello and put some faces to the names that Jamie's been talking through. So look forward to working with the council going forward into the 2023 and beyond.
Well, thank you, we appreciate you coming to our meetings, so thank you. I know Jamie watches regularly.
Yes. Thank you so much. I just want to remind you, I'm the senior advisor now for Capstone's Communications and Community Relations, and so if you need anything, please reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, with that being said, we'll go to call to the public. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address the council? You don't have to take peer pressure from Mr. Shank, but, you know, maybe you do, I don't know. Yes.
I just want to make sure that council is aware of what a great job the AmeriCorps and Triple C team is doing. And I think we're going to have trouble next week because Boyce Thompson doesn't want to let go of them.
Well, the airport doesn't want to let go of me either.
So anyway, they will be here until the first week of April. And as many of you know, they've been participating in a lot of community activities. And a lot of different organizations in town have been very nice at doing meals or working with them. They volunteered for the home show, so we're really happy to have them here in town.
Would you confirm that Hoarders is a local event? Is that what you were referring to? No? Okay.
Well, I've heard rumors that the owner of Porter's might want to sponsor a meal there, so I'll follow up.
Oh, I think that'd be very nice for them. Is there anyone else in the public wishing to address council? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to, there's no executive session items tonight. Summary of current events, we'll start with Councilmember Byrd.
There's a few events going on, just reminders, Second Fridays are coming up and going in, Music in the Park starting a little earlier because it's still cooler. Pharmacy is having a Valentine's Day dance Saturday from 5 to 8. Porter's is also having a Valentine's party from 6 to 10. I know Bruzy's also having something that I won't steal the thunder from Mima. And just reiterating the fact of the GoFundMe for our youth council, if you feel obligated to help, it'd be a nice event for them to be able to go and have some fun and learn. And other than that, thank you to the AmeriCorps for all that you're doing in town.
Councilmember Armitage.
Just a special thanks to the staff who always does such a great job, and to the AmeriCorps people for all that you've done. Airport looks great, thank you.
Councilmember Lopez.
Also, thanks to you guys. You guys, doing a great job. I've heard a lot of compliments about how the good work that you're doing, and we really appreciate it. We're glad that you guys come back every year. You guys are awesome. Other than that, I don't have anything to
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone, and yes, again, thank you, AmeriCorps. We're very proud to have you in our community and working so hard. We really appreciate all the work. And as Councilmember Byrd said, there isn't a plethora of Valentine's Day activities, and I believe there are still a few seatings at Breezy Vineyard if you're at all interested in chocolate and wine on Valentine's Day. But just thank you, staff. We've had a lot of work and a lot of projects going on, so really appreciate everybody working on it. I know our public works crew, they're really moving forward on a lot of projects that have just kind of been lingering, and I'm really, really just proud to see that and very happy at the leadership that's going on there. So thank you to all of our staff on all of those projects. So Mr. Pryor, do you have anything?
Hopefully next week the Peace Park will be re-landscaped. We're xeriscaping it because we don't have water there yet, but it will have riprap and crushed rock around the sign. The flagpole will go up, so it'll start to look more inviting for our community. So that's been a long delayed project.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What is you know where the Town of Superior sign is at the Y? They put up that pole?
That's the flagpole.
That's going to be fine.
That's been laying on the ground for 2 years. It hasn't been installed because Public Works has been overloaded. So we're getting some of these long delayed projects rolling again.
Yeah, I was hoping it was a windsock.
Well, I don't think we want the airplanes landing on the highway, do we? I mean, that would be
Soaring. You know what the soaring?
soaring. I mean, I'm so excited when we can talk a little bit more about soaring and gliding. It's going to be quite amazing. And council, please don't forget, we do have our council retreat on February 28th, I believe, and that will be at the Multi-Gen Center. So we'll be facilitated by Evelyn Kasuga, and she's the one that kicked us off when we started a lot of our big plans in 2016. So it's time for a refresh of our strategic plans. With that being said, scheduling of meetings and events, Emergency Services Committee will be meeting on 2/16/2023, Community Development Committee 22/23/2023, and Planning and Zoning March 2nd, 2023, and Town Council meeting will be on March 9th, 2023. So with that, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
There's a motion by Councilmember Lopez, a second by Councilmember Armitage. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we are adjourned at 7:35.
Almost a new record.
Sure, you did a picture with all of us.